The men and women who led the Reformation movement wanted to exceed the nation's ideals of liberty and equality to all Americans. They wanted to live up to the goals they stated in the Declaration and Constitution. The spirit of reform brought changes to the American religion, politics, education, art, and literature.
In the early 1800s, only New England provided free elementary education. In other areas, parents had to send their kids to poor people's schools or had to pay for their school. By 1850s, most states had accepted the three main principles of education: that schools should be free and supported by taxes, that teachers should be trained, and kids are required to attend school. They did not go into effect right away.
Schools were poorly funded and teachers lacked training. Most females lacked education. Parents often made their daughters stay home because of the belief that women's jobs is to be a wife and a mother and cook and clean and all that stuff. In the West, where settlers lived far apart, many students had no school to attend.
Dozens of colleges and universities were created during the Age of Reform. Most accepted only men.
The spirit of reform also included the efforts of abolitionists. These people worked to end slavery. The first large-scale anti-slavery effort was not aimed at ending slavery, but resettling African Americans in Africa. The American Colonization Society, formed in 1816 by a group of white Virginians, worked to free enslaved workers by buying them from slaveholders and then sending them away to start a new life.
Abolitionist William L. Garrison stimulated the growth of the anti-slavery movement. Garrison was one of the first white people to call for the freeing of enslaved people.
Sarah and Angelina Grimmick were among the first women to speak out publicly against slavery. In the North, the Grimmick sisters lectured and wrote against slavery.
After escaping slavery and moving out to New York City, S. Truth began to work in the movement for abolishment and the women's rights. She delivered her anti-woman speech at a women's convention in Akron, Ohio.
Freddie Douglass was the most widely known African-American abolitionist that was born enslaved and finally purchased his freedom from his slaveholder, from whom he had fled in Maryland.
Southerners fought abolishers by mounting arguments in defense of slavery. Southerners argued they treated them well. Other defenses of slavery were based on racism. Whites believed that African Americans were better off under white care than on their own.
In July 1848, Elizabeth Stanham, E. Mott, and a few other women organized the first ever Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, New York. The convention issued a declaration of sentiments and resolutions modeled on the declaration. Pioneers and women in education began to call for more opportunity. Some women believed that women should be educated in their traditional roles in life.